Hey guys, welcome back to Delaware Acre. I have some additional footage here of my sifting some of my compost. I've put out a few videos about compost, and I know there is an exact science to it, but I don't really have it down here. I just do basically cold composting. I don't think my compost pile gets warm enough to be like a legit compost pile, but stuff does break down, and it does help save on getting costs for buying new soil. So I have not bought any soil yet this year. Stuff growing in there. I think there's a potato growing in there, and a few pumpkin seeds, and a few other things have started to grow in there. But I have food scraps on the right hand side, and the left hand side looks like it has more compost ready to go underneath, but I have to get through all this big stuff first. So I'm going to shovel some of that over and then sift out to get the good stuff beneath. It also seems like whenever it's a good day to be outside, it's always a good day for lawn mowing. So I'll have to do a voiceover for most of this, but yeah, I kind of just started doing this and picked up the camera to record myself doing this because I wanted to be a little better about getting content out, and don't exactly have my proper attire on here, so flip-flops and no gloves, but I am finding these gigantic grubs, and I put them aside for my cousin has chickens. She lives about a mile or so down the road, so I take them over to her chickens as a little treat. Again, going back to edit this footage, I am realizing how brave I was to not have garden gloves on. And also, I usually end up doing all my gardening either in bare feet or with these sandals on. But initially, I was telling myself, I'm not going to take the time to go get gloves. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to use what I have. It's another trip up to the house to go get them. But I ended up going to get gloves anyway, just because it's compost and my hands were going to be filthy dirty. And I don't mind too much rocking the gardener's manicure, but sometimes you set yourself up for some really bad nails and bad glances when you go out to the store or out in public. So once I got done sifting this, I'm realizing how good this compost is underneath here. When you squeeze it together, it's still nice and moist. It's really dark. There's something very therapeutic about doing this until my back starts to bother me. Then I'm thinking, why am I doing this? But like I said, looks like it's good to go compost. So I am trying to use it to amend my beds, fill things in a little bit, because you lose a little bit of soil, things settle, those types of things. And yeah, so I have these beds that my two newest beds had the newest amount of dirt in them, and they grew just fine over last season, and I had them covered up and put to bed with this cardboard, and then I put cedar shavings or pine shavings over top, and I'm just pulling that off because I'm going to use that for mulch again. They didn't break down very well over the winter, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use those for mulch in the beds this year. And I'm really just turning the soil a little bit. You're not really supposed to do this too much, but I wanted the newer this compost to go to kind of intermix with the topsoil that was in there. I wasn't too keen on, or the soil that I got got really when it would get wet, it would just kind of I don't know if it had a lot of clay in it or not, but it would just get real hard, and the water would just kind of run off in like little rivers. So it didn't seem like it was like penetrating through the dirt. I don't know how else to describe it. It was very clay-like. So I wanted to make sure I got a good intermixing there with that. And I have tomato plants here that I'm spacing out, and they are really long. Again, I started them a little too early. They have nice long roots in them. And yeah, I always do this. I always tend to start my seeds a little too early or plant a little too late. So these are all, I think I'm doing 6 or 8 plants here, are all Amish paste. I haven't grown these for quite a few years. And then I kind of got away from them and was just planting like heirloom stuff and like things that looked really cool and big slicing tomatoes, and as much as I like them, I had these seeds, and I told myself that I was going to try to get through my seed storage that I had, and I didn't know if these would germinate or not, because these seeds were from 2018, and I got them from a coworker years and years and years ago, and I just saved seeds, and I had them. I just kind of kept pushing them over to the side, like, oh, I've already done the Amish paste, I want to do cool new varieties. And I told myself, why am I doing that? If I know that these work well and they produce well and they're a paste tomato, I can make salsa out of them and not necessarily have such watery tomato products if I do find something other than salsa to make with them. So when I plant these, I plant them very deep. I plant them as deep as I could get my hands into that dirt. And I wanted to, if you plant them deep enough, everything that you plant will end up sprouting some roots on there, and it gives them a good base to start to transplant and to get nutrients from the soil. So I am busting off the lowest leaves so that they're not buried, and then taking probably about half the plant, if not 3/4 of it, to try to bury it into the bed, into the soil, so that it'll sprout out more roots and just grow quicker, hopefully. So hopefully this, I didn't put any other amendments in this. I don't think I put any. I may have put some in the fall, I'm not sure, but I'm just using the compost in this bed, and it's been several weeks, and the difference is amazing. This compost really does work well, and I am hoping that I can get a better system going and get it turned over more frequently. And as soon as I realize that it smells and there's a lot of flies and stuff, I'll go turn it, because I don't want my neighbors to smell rotting compost. It's kind of gross, and it shouldn't smell, so it doesn't have to smell. So I probably should have planted these a little bit higher so that these leaves aren't touching the bed there, but they're already in, and it is what it is, so they'll be fine. You'll see later in the season, as I'm editing this, they didn't mind, not one bit. In the bed right next to this one, I planted some peas in there, and they're just starting to come up. I kind of willy-nilly just threw them in. I don't think I even recorded it. I just threw them in, and I'm trying to remember to water them. Also trying to remember to water these tiny little threads of onions, and again, you'll see later in the season that they actually turned out pretty well. These guys were like planting blades of grass. It was too hard to try to get some mulch back down in there. So I was waiting for them to perk up a little bit, which they have, and then I'll get some of this wood chips in there, or some straw. These guys are in. Got garlic and some chamomile, some volunteer chamomile. Garlic is coming up. I'm not sure how great it's gonna do, but it looks okay to me. And then I got some onions in here, which I planted on. I don't think I filmed that. I planted them, and I put my little pots that had them in there right next to them, because I didn't have stakes to put in there to label them, and they blew away. So now I'm not sure which ones are which, except for these ones in the front here. So again, they're like little blades of grass when you're trying to plant them, and I was letting them bounce back a little bit, and then I'll get some mulch in here. I had some really dried out dirt soil that was in these little planters here. It was just not good quality dirt, and it just got so hard. So I dumped it right here, and then when I pulled this mulch back from planting these, I put it on top of it. I don't know if you can see that little mound there. And I thought maybe if I covered it and then I watered it, it would hold the moisture against it and maybe make the dirt a little better to use. It's like that brown dirt there. I mean, I know it's all brown, but the lighter colored dirt that I'm watering right there, it just doesn't hold. It's like, what is it, hydrophobic? It just doesn't hold any water, and the water just runs off of it. See how it's like running off right there? So I put the mulch on top to try to think, with the idea of maybe it would help moisturize it, hold some moisture against it, and bring some life back to it. So I've just been coming out here and watering these guys real light every couple days. something so fun about watering with this watering thing, this hose. And then while I clean up a little bit, I'm going to put some water on the compost back there. Because I need to pull some more. Why is the hose always so dramatic? Just go where I want you to go. Put the camera down. Maybe that'll help. Volunteer garlic. A few garlics that I planted. Just give them a quick water. Volunteer chamomile, and then that's sage back there. See our new little friend, new little turtle. The neighbor gave us to him. Gave us to him to us. There we go. Just giving these guys a little drink. So satisfying. Trying to keep these pots from going hydrophobic too. Hose is all twisted up. I wonder it wasn't coming over to me. There we go. Little grass growing in here, but that's okay. Won't last long when this lemon balm comes back up. And this rosemary, I think, is dead. Dead. Just water in the dirt over here. All right. This is where we are. Kind of bare still, but we'll get there. Not too much happening yet, but there will be. So much life to come soon with this.